Are you guys very close? I mean, look very close? Were you?
Yeah. We look very, very similar. If she walked in,
Test
then I
1
would
2.
bow
Test
for
1
her.
2.
Like, we weren't next to each other.
I would think she's.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Yeah.
Testing 1 2. Test 1 2.
Okay.
Hey. Call you back on a meeting. All right, love you.
Here you go. We're good? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for. That went well.
That went well.
We good? Okay. It's Wednesday, August 27th. This is the New College of Florida Board of Trustees meeting. It's our annual meeting. We're scheduled to start at 3. We're a couple minutes late, but let's get going. Before we start, I'd ask you all to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Fitzpatrick, can you please call the roll?
Yes. Trustee Anderson?
Here.
Trustee Baldonado?
Here.
Trustee Bauerlein?
Here.
Trustee Harvey?
Here.
Trustee Jaco?
Here.
Trustee Karp?
Here.
Trustee Kessler? I don't see quite yet. Trustee Mackey?
Here.
Trustee Patterson?
Here.
Trustee Rufo? Trustee Spalding?
Here.
Chair Jinks?
Here.
Vice Chair Cristaldi is not here. We have a quorum.
All right, and can confirm that the public notice of meeting?
Yes, the meeting was publicly noticed.
Okay, thank you. We'll take public comment as it is New College's policy. If somebody wishes to comment on items on our agenda, they needed to register 48 hours before the board meeting and submit their name and topic. And so Ms. Fitzpatrick will call those who are coming to speak. The time should be 1 minute. It says 2, there you go. And when your name is called, please come up. Let's hear from you and then yield the mic to the next person. Please call the public speakers
First up today, we have John O'Miller, followed by Kathleen Cody. Sure. Kathleen,
Sure.
you can go ahead.
I'm here to oppose, can you hear me? I'm here to oppose the honorary degree from Michelle Marie Heinemann. Though the flower sculpture is a lovely gift, it has no relevance in the awarding of an honorary degree. An honorary degree follows a policy to be awarded to individuals of special merit who have gained substantial professional recognition and whose outstanding achievements embody the goals and values of the university. I do not believe that Ms. Heinemann embodies the goals and values of New College, nor can I point to outstanding achievements that she has accomplished. It appears that Mr. Corcoran has devised a workaround to avoid the long-standing process of approving honorary degrees at New College for many years. The process, as detailed in the faculty handbook, required approval from the AAC. As of last week, I believe August 19th, Mr. Corcoran has replaced this committee with an honorary degree committee. In essence, he would be selecting the candidate. It is clear that the idea of shared governance is doomed here. The values and goals have changed dramatically from the ideals that founded this amazing jewel of a college. We now have an expensive, mediocre sports college with no sports fields.
Thank you.
John O'Miller for NCF Freedom. You just heard testimony that the 3 previous honorary degrees were issued contrary to the faculty handbook. Your auditor was apparently unable to find that basic fact. If you have an auditor that can't find things like this, you have 2 choices. One is you can either fire them or give them a raise because they're doing a great job of covering your butts. Last Tuesday, the administration convened a new committee based on a new policy and authorized yet another honorary degree bypassing the AAC shared governance and the adopted faculty handbook. I won't comment on whether this degree is appropriate, but this sketchy process clearly demeans the college. Finally, I let the president know this morning that in my opinion, the Green Park is being planted with trees that are programmed for failure. They're going to have to be removed sooner or later because they're going to grow into the runway protection zone of the airport, and that's no way to honor the Neals. Thank you.
That concludes our public comment.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we're going to move into the consent agenda. Before we do that, I am pulling off of consent the item, the University E&G Carry Forward Spending Plan for fiscal year 2025-2026. So we'll put that under as a separate action item. In the meantime, you all have received your board packet materials for the consent agenda, and I would like to entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Trustee Harvey, who seconded, and Trustee Carp, who made the motion. Okay, any discussion? Questions, comments? All right, all those in favor of approving the items on the consent agenda, say aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? No opposed? Okay. With that, we will move into now the E&G 2025-2026 carry forward spending plan. And Ms. Fitzpatrick, can you speak to that, please? Make sure you speak into that mic so we can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
All right, before she talks, can I have a motion, please, to approve the University E&G Carry Forward Spending Plan fiscal year 2025-2026?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Trustee Carp. Approved. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, Trustee Bauerlein. All right, now, Ms. Fitzpatrick, please tell us about this item.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Chair. This afternoon, this item before you is just our carry forward E&G plan for 25-26. It was approved by the full committee, the Finance and Administration Committee, last week. It did have some slight adjustments that were emailed over to you a couple of days ago, back on Monday, when we had realized that a couple of adjustments needed to be made. Most of these are technical in nature. The overall dollar figures have not changed. We still have 11.7 million that will be our carry forward budget, essentially, with a little over 5 million as our 7% that has been allocated as our mandatory reserve. None of those numbers changed. It's just more of the split on how we've allocated funds between the fixed capital projects based on a new requirement that we allocate 12% of our carry forward funding over towards PICO or deferred maintenance expenses. So there's just, when you see the subsequent pages that are behind the summary page, you'll see a different split than what was provided out by the committee originally. Additionally to that, we reconciled the allocation for hurricane repairs. As you all know, we've received quite a bit of money back from insurance so far in anticipating getting additional money back from FEMA. So we had to modify that number as well to make sure we were reconciling the correct number. Those are the changes, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any questions about the material sent to you? Yes, Trustee Baldonado.
Thank you. I had a question last week about the retention and recruitment item on the carry forward, and I hadn't gotten a response back on that.
We're actively still working on that. I'm not sure why it's a challenge to get it over to you, but we're getting it over. So we should have that information over to you by the end of today, if not first thing in the morning. I just need to review it and make sure I'm complete with the numbers. So.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Fitzpatrick. And with that, I turn the floor over to President Corcoran for his report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, at this one we called the State of State because I just wanted to kind of go through. You guys have basically been here, give or take 2.5 years. We're at about the halfway mark of the 5 years that we literally had mentioned to the Board of Governors and to the Governor that, hey, give us 5 years with new leadership. We think we can really change. So I wanted to kind of do like a halfway point for you guys and let you know where I think we stand, which is, and I'll start with, obviously, we always say grow students, grow money and grow prestige, which is, our most, principally our faculty. So in students, we're ahead of schedule of our 5-year plan. We said we would get to 1,200 students at the end of 5 years. As you know, we had record enrollment in the first year, broke 300 for the first time in school history. Second year, we broke that record and we're over 300. This year, for the third straight year, we're breaking 300 in enrollment, and our total enrollment is 916. We have the largest undergraduate enrollment and the largest graduate enrollment in the school's history. So as far as the people watching us, our Board of Governors, the legislature, the governor, we're far exceeding expectations in our enrollment and well on pace for the 1,200. Hitting record after record. The other great news about this class is our SAT score went up to 1209. I think it's almost a 50-point jump. We went up 2 points on the ACT to 25, and our GPA is just under 4.0 at about 3.97, 3.96. So, the scores are going up too, and our selectivity is going up. You've had briefings at the Academic Affairs Committee where applications are up, denials are up, which is a good thing, and our selectivity is up. So all the way around, it's just been fantastic in terms of student enrollment. And I think at the halfway point, I could say continuing at this pace, or even if we slow down a little bit, we're going to definitely exceed the 5-year expectations of the legislature and the governor, which is great news. In addition to that, and for those of you who are on the Academic Affairs Committee, and it's in your packet, we just did the tenure review for 17 faculty members. We had a whole briefing from our provost on the tenure review. It was a very robust 17 faculty members. Normally you do 20% of your total faculty, so it'll be more like 5 to 10 faculty members moving forward, but we were catching up from the previous years. So we had all of them either meet expectations or exceed expectations, which was fantastic. But on the faculty front as a whole, and I said this at the Academic Affairs Committee, we have lost and are no longer here, I want to say 31 of 59 tenured faculty members. So if you go back to January of 2003 to now, you have that loss of 31 tenured faculty members. To put it in a picture of the nation, if the nation lost 34% of their tenured faculty, you would see a change of about 75,000 professors. If you did it through the rest of the state university system, you'd see over, give or take, 1,000 to 1,200 faculty members. So what's happened here has been pretty tectonic shift. In addition to that, with the help of our faculty that have been with us and stayed with us, we have brought on pushing 60 new faculty members. So again, part of the, and the mantra has always been this, we're not looking for a right, we're not looking for a left, we're not looking for ideological warriors, we're looking for people who are going to teach kids how to think, do it passionately, and just be a part of that very unique, select new college system of a very close faculty-student relationship and building up a really great product in that student for a great future. So I think on the faculty side, talking to the governor, talking to some of the legislatures, extremely happy with the growth. And the faculty leading it, existing faculty, new faculty, everyone sitting at the table, as you guys well know, that you approved in the Academic Affairs Committee also, which is was on the consent calendar, is the core curriculum is, I think, of the 12 universities, without question, ours is separate, distinct, very new college, and the best of all worlds. And a lot of it, as we've talked about in the past, a lot of it's dictated on some of the fence lines are dictated by the legislature, so we have to stay within those fence lines. But even in doing so, just created, I think, a wonderful new core curriculum with the help of all of our faculty. So I think on the faculty front, in the 2.5 years, it's amazing. On the money front, obviously, we have received over 120, give or take, $1 million from the state. If you could go back for the 63-year history, and never did they have a run of that magnitude. So it's just outstanding numbers. The foundation, when in the end of the fiscal year on the 990s, filed with the IRS, the 22 fiscal conclusion, we were at about $39 million in our endowment. At the conclusion of this fiscal year, our 990, which is basically 23, 24, 25, We're over $50 million now in the endowment, have grown it by $11 million. We've done that, as you know, by really focusing on being much better stewards with the money, investing more wisely, and also raising more money. And so this last fiscal year, we raised almost $6 million. We're in August, which is only the second month of the fundraising, and it's not finalized and signed yet. But we do have our first, for this fiscal year with 10 months to go, our first $1 million commitment, which is fantastic. And we'll announce that probably in the next 30 days once all the documentation is signed. So it's, on the fundraising side, it's also going terrifically. And then looking forward, you know, we try to, you know, if you come to the campus when you guys are down, for some of you guys that aren't here, you know, there's the park in the front. It's breathtakingly beautiful. Pritzker's been completely $3.5 million renovation. It is beautiful inside and out. More parks and balconies and everything looking over the waterfront. You know, we've in your short 2.5 years, I think we've torn down, I don't know, 6 or 7 buildings. We've torn down 2 Palmers. We've torn down like 3 houses. We've torn down the car museum. I mean, just constantly moving as quickly as possible to bring, and what will ultimately be, I don't have any hesitation in telling you that I think it's going to be, you know, looking at potential unification projects and growth projects and construction projects. It's going to be without question, the #1 most beautiful campus in the country. I mean, it's staggering what's happening and how quickly it's happening. And so if you look forward to the next 7 years, I mean, the next year, we're working with the provost right now, who's done a fantastic job. If you haven't had a chance to spend time talking to our provost, he's been a fantastic leader on all things. You know, I know we get criticized from time to time, and one of the criticisms today is a wonderful alum who supports us and comes to our events and all that, and think the world of her. But you know, the nominations for honorary degrees, you know, previously had gone to the AAC. And the new methodology, the provost is a member and he chooses another faculty member. The faculty chair represented on the Board of Trustees is a member and he chooses another faculty member. So it's dominated by faculty in those awards. I get to appoint a person, and then obviously the foundation chair sits. So it's heavily faculty, and you know, they met, they discussed it, and I think we're very honored and pleased to announce those awards. But again, the point being is that, you know, the provost has done a Herculean job with all these new hires, working through the accreditation, working through this core curriculum, and now we're on the process in the next calendar year. Hopefully we'll have another 10, probably I would say 15 to 20 new faculty lines open, hopefully in the next 30 days, so we can get really the best of the best from across the country. And we'll get those to you, so if you guys have thoughts or recommendations, you can see what lines are open and encourage people to participate, which would be fantastic. And the other thing that I've said to you guys before, as we bring in new faculty members, or we have all these openings with the existing faculty, they all have ideas. You know, they're always coming, hey, you ought to talk to this person, you ought to talk to this person. And so we have our existing faculty who's just been fantastic in getting us additional recommendations. So we really have robust candidates now in the faculty hiring. Student enrollment, I mean, we're just on all levels doing 2 things, I think, for the next 2.5 years, but specifically the next year, is we really have to help our retention. So if we bring in 350 students, but we lose 25%, you know, you're basically you're going to have to recruit 200 and some students additional, just because your retention's down 125, 150 students. So we're really working on the retention. We've put a new retention person in place. We've got all kinds of help for the faculty with their anywhere that they need help augmented through some helpers and advisors. We're working on internships, all those different things. So I think, you know, what we did is we went down to 65% in terms of retention, then we went up to, 75, 76%, and we hovered there again this year, 75, 76%. Our hope this year is we'll make the next jump up to the 80% and then 85 by year 5, which would be outstanding. And again, the retention problem is almost a 10, 15-year problem at New College. It had been plummeting precipitously before even our enrollment, and then had the 65% year, largely due to what I say is a somewhat of an ideological exodus. But now we're back up into that 76 range where with great improvements, and I think we're going to hit the 80, 85 mark in the next, 80 in this next calendar year, which is terrific. We even hired a new, I call her, it's offensive, probably should get offended if I say it, I just call her our quant, because if I have a question, Washington Monthly just came out with their rankings for the 3rd straight year. We're the #1 public liberal arts school in the country, 3 years in a row under your leadership. And so I send it, I just forward these to April Ainsworth is her name. She does a fantastic job. She's an undergraduate from New College and then came back and got her data science master's degree in the last 2 years, and then we hired her right out of the data science program. But all things metrics. I mean, she literally, on metric 7 or metric 5 in our retention, how many kids, and she literally now on a, weekly, daily basis, she can say, you can only lose 2 more kids, or if we can get 3 kids to enroll by January, we can get this metric and hit this metric. And we have it down to students, we have it down to timing. And so I think we're going to get to a point where I think after this calendar year that we're really stable and start hitting the top rankings in terms of the state university system on all of those different metrics. So I think the student is great. And then on, the development, again, I think the fundraising at the, as I just told you, is already off to a record start. We've never had a $1 million donor since your leadership in January of 23. So that's just a great start, and hopefully we can break our 6 million mark of last year. The state funding looks fantastic. You guys have some naming opportunities before you, I think. Today, and hopefully those are approved by y'all. There's a lot of the legislatures want to come to the Freedom Park because he was a giant mentor to the Cuban American community for years and years and years, and he was a New College alum. And his brother is also a New College alum who is a renowned anchor at MSNBC, NBC, and hopefully he is also a New College graduate. Hopefully he'll be here. He was here with his daughter maybe a month ago and said he has every intention of coming if you guys approve it. But I think that helps us additionally just get more and more money into the door. And and with that, with the money that we have in the door, I think we're in a great fiscal position. Our CFO that we appointed almost 2 years ago, Christy Fitzpatrick, has done just a great job. And so now we're really budgeting and keeping, significant quantities of money available to us at any different time. We can spend it if we need to, or we can have it if it looks like we might not have all of the additional funds that we expect to get. So I think we're really in a good fiscal position. But on the east side, if this time next year, my hope for you guys is we would have our master plan done and before you guys by the end of the year, and you would approve it. We would break ground on 4 to 6 dorms on 58th Street, brand new. They would all be in that Mediterranean type architecture and all very distinct. Hopefully, we'll have the baseball field done. We'll have we're very optimistic and constantly optimistic given the great partnership that we have with the airport, that we'll have an airport deal done in this fiscal year. We'll break ground on additional park. We'll break ground on maybe the main soccer field over on the east side of the campus, tennis courts, maybe pickleball courts. All of this, I think, is moving quickly towards completion. We're going to do a whole library redo. And so we've been in the process. We're re-roofing it with the insurance money from the flooding. We're reorganizing everything. We've added a whole section for students in the back where they can go read outside and doors out accessing that, which you'll get to see. So I think that if all that, come August of next year, it will already be pretty close to the most beautiful campus. And obviously we're still in tremendous talks with USF. They've been a great partner. Everyone, I think, sees the value to their students, to their university, to our students, to our university, and to the entire state university system. But I think that could be another huge component. We are always talking with Manatee County, who are the ones that gifted us the 9 acres in the waterfront. We're going to break ground, and also August of next year, our Educational Contemplative Center should be done right there on the water for you guys to come see. So it's going to be another robust year of great student growth, great faculty recruitment, and massive changes to the campus. So it's very, very exciting, but I just wanted to give you guys sort of a 2.5-year look back and say I think that you guys are way ahead of schedule, and I think that the reception, we're going to host the Board of Governors, our regulatory agency, for the first time in almost 8 years here on campus in 2 weeks, and I think they're going to be, they've been tremendous supporters, and they were more than excited about allowing us to host one of the meetings. And I think they're going to be completely surprised by the amazing transformation. They know the data, they see the numbers, they know we're having the great enrollment and all of these different things, but when you physically come to the campus and you see the vibrancy and you see the students and you see the changes, it gives you another whole level of, wow, this is going to happen. So we're excited about that too. But I just want to say thank you. You guys have been fantastic, board, and I really think that we're way ahead of schedule, and thanks for all the great work you guys do.
Thank you. Do we have any, let's start with the Zoom people. Any questions for President Corcoran? No? Oh, yes.
Just one quick question on the faculty numbers. A quick estimate. I know you may not have the quantitative advisor handy, but what percentage of the faculty approximately has come on board since that time? What is the? I know. Because I think you said 60 faculty now have come on board. But what is the total faculty number now?
I could get the exact number. I want to say we're somewhere around 120 now.
Okay.
Which we got, and part of the reason was the legislature gave us money to increase our enrollment, and I would say we're easily at 50% new, but in that ballpark. And I'll get you the exact numbers to the whole trustees.
And approximation's totally sufficient. Thank you.
Okay, any other? Yeah, Trustee Spalding?
Yeah, I was going to, it's great report, great to hear, and we're halfway into this, and here we are. What would you say, President Corcoran, what do you think is our weak point? Where are we the weakest? What do you worry about? I mean, we're all kind of going forward, these are looking good, but what's the thing we ought to be concerned about, or you think is something that is not going well?
That's a great question, Trustee. The number one is easy. I mean, it's, in fact, I remember when I first got here, what keeps you up at night, someone asked me, it was enrollment in general. Just can we grow on our enrollment? And the thought was, okay, we're going to lose all of the traditional kids that come to New College because they think it's moving to the right, and all the right kids aren't going to come because they don't think it's going to change, and we're going to have no enrollment. And we ended up having over 300. But it's still enrollment in students is the number one concern. And what I would say is, where I think we'd like to get to is about comparable to what you guys do at Hillsdale, where you have about 500 admits a year, and the blend would be, again, that 35, 65 non-athletic students versus athletic students, and the students that we would have would be high-achieving students. And so I think in talking to the provost and talking to a lot of our faculty, we have a bunch of initiatives with admissions and Vice President Rancourt, where we're using faculty. One of our classics professors is going to go out and he's going to start going school to school to school recruiting. We have some students who want to engage in that same. They'll go out and say, here's why I'm an economics major and this is why it's so wonderful, et cetera, et cetera. And so the number one concern, like if I could snap my fingers and you could say I could solve anything with a snap of my fingers, I would say that we would have, 350, 1,300, 4.4 students accepted every year is where we want to get to, and that's the stress to get those numbers. And it's not going to happen overnight, but we're growing quickly and rapidly with the increase in those scores. The second one is always money, and the biggest concern in the money is raising money at the foundation And the reason that's the biggest concern is because we can spend the money that we're getting, which is a tremendous amount of support from the legislature, we can spend that in certain areas. The bulk of your sports have to be spent with the foundation. So if we want to build the baseball field, or if we want to build a student center, a field house, we need to raise that money. And those are big chunks. Those are $12 million chunks. Now, what we're doing with the field is just a field. It has no stadium seating or anything. It's, we'll have metal bleachers. But that's to get it on campus, because when we have events on campus, we just hosted the first soccer game on the field out by the water. One of the refs pulled up and immediately whipped out her phone and was videoing the whole thing, and she says, "I've never seen anything like this in my life. This is insane," just on the beauty. And it was a wonder. The neighborhoods were there. A couple of them had some wine and charcuterie boards. It was a wonderful event. And so the more we get on campus, even if it's just a baseball field, it's a game changer for our student life. But raising money to build out that. Now, the BOG in the last meeting, now in different pressures for different schools, the Floridas and the Florida States have massive, $200, $400 million a year grossing programs, but even with that, they need, this NIL has changed Division I. I think Division I sports, and I'll steal from David Rancourt and Mario Jimenez, who are our athletic director and vice president for student affairs. It's become a business, in the worst kind of way, and it's just going to deteriorate faster and faster. And so what we saw the BOG do, with these universities, everyone's saying, hey, we got to compete with the Alabamas, the Louisianas, the Texases, all these other states who are doing it. They gave authorization for auxiliary money to be used for athletics. So probably at the next board meeting, we'll come to you and we'll ask for our excess auxiliaries to be used, where, a portion of it for athletics, and that will allow us to rapidly, they're using it for, NIL contracts. What we would be using it for is just building facilities, building out those facilities. So that, those would be probably 1 and 2. I think the other concerns that we've had over the 2.5 years, I think we're in a really good cadence on campus with the faculty, with the students, with student affairs, more activities. Our maintenance folks, our administrative folks, I think we have a really good cadence, and there's a lot of trust between all of the entities. So when I say, yes, we still want to hire good faculty, I really like our whole process, how we're doing it, who's out there leading the charge. All of those things I think are good cadence. But 1 and 2 would be, again, it's grow students, grow money are the top 2 that we always say, and then third is grow prestige. But so growing students, and we need to get those top-notch students, and we need to get more of them. That's number 1. And number 2 is growing money. And specifically, we've done really well at growing money, except for athletic facilities. And so it would be nice to grow that money.
Great, thank you.
Yes, Trustee Baldonado.
Thank you. What is the timeline on building new dorms?
So if I was to, this is going to come hopefully before you got, hopefully we'll schedule it. I don't think one's been scheduled. But in November, December, probably December, early December, we'll have another trustee meeting. And that will be a very, my hope is you're going to approve a master plan. You're going to approve breaking ground on dorms on 58th Street. So they would be in the same vein as the letter dorms. Our letter dorms, our 4 main letter dorms that are side by side, like we would do on 58th Street, are all about 30 beds. So if we can get 4 to 6 of those going, that would push us in the ballpark of, almost 200 beds at the max. And adding those, and those are brand new beds. And then, who knows what happens with the USF negotiations, but that would give us potentially an extra 50 beds. So it's more than enough for all of our growth. To your point, though, even if we broke ground, Trustee Baldonado, in January, they wouldn't come online until probably the spring semester of the next year. So we need 1 more semester on our best case scenario, maybe a year, but 1 more semester of hotel cost. The sad but really beneficial thing that's happened to the college is we lost the portables in the hurricanes. They broke apart, then they got water intrusion. There was just no way to solve the mold issues. And so they've, as you've seen, they've been demolished. If you guys aren't here, they've been demolished. They've been taken off campus. We're getting the reimbursement for the full cost. So we didn't lose any money at all. And to the contrary, because we had 120 beds in there, we're able to get that reimbursement as long as it's for student housing moving forward. So really, what it really helps with fantastically is defraying the cost of the hotels moving forward. So all of that's great news. But to your point, the two big things that we're really hoping in this fiscal year is breaking ground on the 58th Street dorms. It'll be 4, 6, somewhere in that ballpark. That could be, we'll say a ballpark 150 to 200 beds. And then if we can work out and finalize the deal with the legislature, it was pretty much done. USF had signed off on it. We had signed off on it. The governor had signed off on it. The legislature is, like we talked about last night, the master plan. It's, making sausage. Go figure. But everyone's on board again. So hopefully that happens and we get an extra 50 beds. So we could be looking at an additional 250 beds. And if we did that, we only need about probably 100 to 150, give or take, 200 if we want to get fully out of the hotel. So we would probably eradicate of those buildings that we've destroyed, 2 of the Palmers, which are end-of-life buildings, all kinds of issues in all of them. We keep patching, painting, stuccoing, whatever we can to buy time, but those would ultimately come down. So we'd probably be down 30 beds. But so if we get to 250 beds, we're in great shape. If we don't get there, we'll hold off on getting rid of any beds until we can have that luxury.
So to confirm, for next fall, when returning students come back to campus, it's likely they're going to be in hotels again?
That's correct. Not likely, trust, it's a certainty.
Okay.
Assuming we continue with our great growth. So we could defray 50, let's just say the growth, we go from 916 students to we break 1,000. So the net growth in students is another 100, 150. We know we can get 50 of those beds. Again, the hope for the fall, to your question, is we would work out that situation with USF and get 50 more beds. So that would be 50 more beds. So yes, we would still need the hotel, but hopefully it would be a diminished amount.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to thank you for hosting the master plan info session yesterday with students, staff, and faculty. I know it was very recent, but have there been any conversations surrounding the public comments that we received and the questions?
Yeah, all of it's documented, and we keep it all. And for the trustees, if you at any point in time you want to Google New College of Florida master plan, we document all the public comments, and we don't want to inundate you with 400 emails or 100 emails or 50 emails. So we just put them all on that page and encourage you guys to go through the comments. But we go through all of them. They're documented. They're public records, and so we'll continue that. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but at Trustee Baldonado's request, she wanted to have a master plan public meeting with students and faculty and staff invited, and we had students, faculty, staff, and a lot of members of the community come, and we spent about an hour and a half most in Q&A, and it was a very, very productive session last night. Thank you, Trustee.
Any other questions?
I have a comment more than a question.
Sure. Yep.
I think it's exciting. I've been reading through a lot of publications recently where they rank colleges and universities in the country, and to see where we're at with Forbes and some of those others, and see just our academic rankings and also value to the student for tuition money and what they pay to be here, and just the education they're getting. I think that seeing where we're at and where we're going is very impressive. So I appreciate all of our leadership that we have here.
Thanks, Trustee. And yeah, so the 2 that have come out so far are Princeton, #1 public liberal arts school, and Washington Monthly, 3rd year in a row, #1 public liberal arts school. And we jumped to #6 in Washington Monthly overall, of all schools, public and private. So U.S. News comes out. They're a little bit more difficult because 20% of their ranking is subjective. So when you're in the news and it's not positive, our subjective, we probably get 0 on the 20%, so we started a deficit. But we'll be climbing. It'll only be a matter of time before it tops U.S. News and Report, because some of the other criteria, Pell students, we're up in Pell students, cost per post-graduation, all of those metrics, we're #1 in our state university system. And so it's only a matter of time before we get back up into a high ranking in the U.S. News and Report. On the public schools in U.S. News and World Report, we're always in the top 8. So I don't think that's going to change, but that's public liberal arts schools. Overall, we'd like to see ourselves get back up there in the, for the first time ever, get in the top 50 would be wonderful. of U.S. News and Report, and I do want to clarify, New College, if you guys don't know the history, way before U.S. News and Report, Forbes, Princeton, there were only two rankings in the 70s, and one was the Association of Guidance Counselors, basically school counselors, and the other one was Barron's. You remember Barron's? And they would do this similar, but it was basically the elite 25 or the elite 50 in the country, public and private. And New College was ranked in the elite 25 almost every single year. We have those rankings. If you guys come through, we'll show them to you. It's just an amazing list. There's the new colleges and the Williams, and there's the Yales and the Harvards and the Stanfords and the University of Chicago's. So hopefully we'll get back up into that elite level and under objective criteria.
Trustee Harvey?
So a couple things. First, just a clarification. So the 916 enrollment, is that combined undergraduate and graduate?
It is.
Do you know
It's
what the
40,
breakdown is?
yeah, 49 graduate, the rest
undergrad.
undergraduate.
Okay. On the new faculty lines, do you know what the timeline is for announcing those and constituting search committees? Because as was said in another questions, we've got a lot of bright and eager faculty who I think would be really enthusiastic about serving on some search committees to choose their new colleagues. So I hope we'll get a chance to get that process going.
Yeah. I said in my comments that in the next 30 days, hopefully all of those will be, and we've done it really. We've looked at people that are gone. We're again, April Ainsworth, our new. She's our chief data officer. I just can't say. I like Quant so much better. It sounds so much better. But she's breaking down every single AOC, students, to see, multiple, how do we get more students involved? I'll make it, how do we get more students in in classics? Can we encourage a minor or whatever it might be? But also, we have these massive classes coming in, they're leaning towards psychology or economics or whatever it might be, or data science or computer science. How do we get more professors? Even though we haven't had a loss, we need to keep our 8-to-1 student ratio. And so hopefully a faculty to student ratio. So we're looking at all of that. Regardless, I think the provost sent me an email this morning with a list of like 10 things, and number one on the list is, hey, basically, President, you need to get going on these faculty lines. And so I'll get with the provost.
And I'll get with the provost,
Yeah.
too. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other trustees have questions? No? Okay, thank you, President Corcoran.
Thank you.
It's great. Really proud of the work we've done. Do you want to stay in your seat, or are you going to go up there?
I can stay here.
Stay here? Okay.
Can
Yeah.
we do resolutions up there? Yeah, we do. As soon as he shows up, just do him.
That's the first we do. CPA, then the honorary degree, and then we get to the resolutions.
I'm sorry, so show me where it is. It's this one right here, last.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Before I turn this over to Mr. Brickhouse, I would like to entertain a motion for approval of ratification of updated collective bargaining agreement between New College of Florida and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. Okay.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Harvey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Carp, thank you. Okay. And with that, Mr. Brickhouse, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So before you, we're seeking ratification of the new collective bargaining agreement. This matches what this board did for the out-of-unit staff as well as the faculty union, with a 2% increase to base hourly wages, together with a one-time bonus equal to 2% of their base salary. Happy to stand for any questions.
Do we have any questions on this matter? I don't see any questions raised by trustees on Zoom. How about here in the room?
No.
No questions? Okay, well, then, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? No opposed, motion carries. All right. Next, I would entertain a motion for approval of honorary degree for Michelle Marie Heineman.
Move to approve.
Okay, trustee Carp has moved to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Oh, okay. It's a tie between trustee Mackey and trustee Patterson, but the record show there were 2 seconds. And with that, I turn the matter over to Mr. Brickhouse.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're asking to authorize the President Corcoran to bestow an honorary doctor in humane letters to Michelle Marie Heinemann. As the President mentioned in his report, this comes as a recommendation from the Honorary Degree Committee, which made the recommendation after meeting on August 20th, 2025 to the President. The President has accepted that recommendation and brings it to the Board for your consideration and approval. Within your packet, you have the nomination packet as well as the transmittal letter from the Degree Committee. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, first hand up is trustee Baldonado.
When and why did we move from the AAC to the Honorary Degree Committee? When did the policy change?
So we instituted, and a copy of the policy is in your packet as well, and I'll try not to get too into the weeds on the legal side, but BOG actually requires that we have a policy on honorary degrees, and so we did not have an official policy that was adopted by this board or by the administration for honorary degrees. So in order to do that, we implemented that, and that's what you have in your packet. And as the President said, that includes a broad swath of faculty representation, the provost, 2 other faculty members, one chosen by the provost, one chosen by the faculty chair, who is also a member.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions on this pending motion?
I'm sorry, just to clarify, so the committee does include faculty?
Yes.
Is it 7 members?
Yeah, it's 6 members, Trustee Spalding, 3 of whom, including the provost, are faculty members.
Should eventually be 4, right? Because there's the provost and the chair of the faculty, and then we each designate one person. And I think we're still waiting on one more to fully constitute. But
You're correct,
the
Trustee
full
Harvey.
committee will have 4 faculty
4.
members.
A majority.
Okay, any other comments, questions, discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition, the motion carries. All right, at this point, I would entertain a motion for approval of resolution naming the Lincoln Diaz Ballard Freedom Park.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Spalding. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second, Trustee Harvey. And with that, I'll turn it over to David Brickhouse. I would just note that I did go to school with Lincoln's brother. Jose was here. I think Lincoln had already graduated or was about to graduate, but I did know them both. And they were both very active and respected students and successful graduates of New College.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm proud to bring before this board a resolution of the Board of Trustees of New College of Florida to designate the Lincoln Diaz Ballard Freedom Park. With your permission, Madam Chair, I'll read the resolution into the record. Whereas Lincoln Diaz Ballard was born in Havana, Cuba on August 13th, 1954, and whereas following the Communist Revolution in Cuba, Lincoln Diaz Ballard and his family fled the country and made their home in South Florida. And whereas Lincoln Diaz Ballard earned a degree in international relations from New College of Florida in 1976, where he also served as president of the student government. And whereas Lincoln Diaz Ballard obtained his law degree from Case Western Reserve University in 1979. And whereas Lincoln Diaz Ballard served in both chambers of the Florida legislature, holding office in the Florida House of Representatives from 1986 to 1989, and in the Florida Senate from 1989 to 1992. And whereas Lincoln Diaz Ballard was subsequently elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, serving Florida's 21st Congressional District from 1993 until 2011. And whereas throughout his extensive public service, Lincoln Diaz Ballard was known as a dedicated and effective lawmaker who championed policies focused on advancing freedom and democracy. And whereas Lincoln Diaz Ballard's life work serves as a powerful example to New College students of the impact one individual can have in advancing American ideals and protecting individual freedoms. And whereas Lincoln Diaz Ballard passed away on March 3rd, 2025, leaving behind a legacy of principled leadership and courageous advocacy. And whereas it is fitting and proper that New College of Florida recognizes the enduring contributions of one of its most distinguished alumni. And whereas in honor of Lincoln Diaz Balart's numerous accomplishments, public service, leadership, and his commitment to the cause of democracy, New College of Florida seeks to name the area formerly known as Robertson Park, the Lincoln Diaz Balart Freedom Park. And whereas the New College of Florida Board of Trustees has naming authority conferred by the Florida Board of Governors under its regulations 1.001 and 9.005, now therefore be it resolved that the New College of Florida Board of Trustees recognizes Lincoln Diaz Balart's achievements in the pursuit of freedom and his contributions to New College of Florida's legacy, and hereby designates the area formerly known as Robertson Park as the Lincoln Diaz Balart Freedom Park.
Do we have any questions, comments, discussion? Hands raised? None? Okay, so all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, motion carries. And will we have some type of public announcement, an event to
Yeah.
cut a ribbon or?
Yeah, Madam Chair, we'll reach out to the Diaz Balarts. As you know, there's still a Diaz Balart, Mario Diaz Balart in Congress.
Right.
And as we talked about, Jose came to campus not too long ago. The speaker, Danny Perez, considered Lincoln his mentor. And so I think we'll try to get a date set and notify you guys before the year's out and have a ribbon cutting. So.
Great. Okay,
President Clark, do you know if there's a statue of him anywhere in the state of Florida?
A statue of him?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. I'll send. We've designed the sign so as you come in to drive towards College Hall, you'd see a lit up sign, and it says Lincoln Diaz Balart on the top, and then underneath it says Freedom Park. So instead of a statue, we would have the park just have that beautiful entryway.
Great.
Okay, are we ready for the last item?
Yes.
Okay. All right, last but not least, I would entertain a motion for the approval of the resolution naming the Pat and Charlene Neal Green. Can I have a motion, please?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Trustee Carp. May I have a second?
Second.
Trustee
Second.
Patterson? Okay, and you tied with Trustee Patterson, Trustee Spalding? And with that, I will turn it over to, again, David Brickhouse, Vice President, Legal Affairs.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you have the resolution of the Board of Trustees of New College of Florida designating the Pat and Charlene Neal Green. Whereas Pat and Charlene Neal have made significant contributions to New College of Florida, the state of Florida, and Sarasota and Manatee counties. And whereas Mr. Neal has a distinguished record of public service, including being elected to the Florida Senate, where he served as the chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee. Mr. Neal also served as the chair of the Florida Senate Natural Resources Committee and chair of the Florida Commission on Ethics. And whereas Mr. Neal is the Chief Executive Officer of Neal Communities, and Mrs. Neal is the President of Charlene Neal Pure Style and Vice President of Neal Communities. And whereas Neal Communities was formed in 1970 and has built more than 25,000 high-quality homes in our community, exhibiting the company's commitment to same. Neal Communities was named America's Best Builder by Builder Magazine and the National Association of Home Builders. In addition, Neal Communities received the prestigious Builder of the Year award from Professional Builder Magazine. And whereas by employing nearly 300 residents and supporting the ongoing development of meaningful careers, Neal Communities significantly boost the regional economy through direct wages, increased consumer spending, and impact to surrounding business and services. And whereas Mr. and Mrs. Neal, together with their companies, have donated more than $8 million in support of local community organizations such as the American Cancer Society, Women's Resource Center, 4-H Club, Child Protection Center, the Boys and Girls Club of Manatee and Sarasota, American Red Cross, Bradenton Opera Guild, Florida Independent College Fund, Florida West Coast Symphony, Foundation for Dreams, Head Start, Humane Society of Manatee County, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, Keep Manatee Beautiful, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, Moat Marine, Palmetto Youth Center, Fruitville Public Library, Habitat for Humanity, the Great Outdoors Conservancy, the YMCA, State College of Florida, and the New College of Florida. And whereas in recognition of their accomplishments, public service, character, and significant contributions to the state of Florida, New College of Florida seeks to name the area formerly known as Green Park, the Pat and Charlene Neal Green. And whereas the New College of Florida Board of Trustees has naming authority conferred by the Florida Board of Governors under its regulations 1.001 and 9.005, now therefore be it resolved that the New College of Florida Board of Trustees hereby designates the area formerly known as Green Park as the Pat and Charlene Neal Green.
Any questions, comments, discussion? No? Okay. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? No? Motion carries. Same question, will we have some type of announced kickoff ribbon-cutting event for this?
We will, and that'll probably, we'll probably do that hopefully within 60 days.
Okay.
The other one might be within 90.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I'm sure you'll all be glad to hear that, seeing no new business, it's time to entertain. Do I need a motion to adjourn, or can I just?
Without objection.
Without objection, we adjourn. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
All right.
I'm studying psychology with a secondary in sociology.